We're going to try something a little bit different here to explain exactly what's going on when the plane is in a stalled or a really stalled situation. I believe most people understand what the throttle does, and I don't believe that everybody really understands how integral it is to everything that's low and slow, and how you have to transition the throttle from what you traditionally think of using the throttle for. And right now we're going to be using it as a buoyancy device. The only example I could give you is if you had a balloon that was not filled with helium. It's very light, and because you have wind under the wings, the plane is a little light. It's not like a bowling ball. It's got some buoyancy. So what we're doing when we're 3Ding is we're doing more like we're bouncing a balloon on your hand. We're just kind of bouncing it back up in the air. And if you hear with a lot of pilots the throttle blipping quite a bit, it's because that's their way of just kind of bouncing it. Some people bounce a little faster, a little slower. You know, the slower ones, obviously, you have to hit a little more, less often, or a little more often and not quite so much. They all achieve basically the same thing, and you'll see the larger and heavier the aircraft, the more dramatic it is. It's done while hovering, and it's done while harrying. So I'm going to kind of demonstrate what I mean by buoyancy. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to use just a little bit of elevator to keep the nose up. And if you hear, I'm working the throttle thumb because I just want to show what my thumb is doing so people can kind of adjust to that or feel it. Hold on. Okay. Watch what I'm doing with my left thumb. It's moving quite a bit. There's quite a lot of activity on it, and I'm holding the plane just a few feet off the ground, and I'm adjusting constantly. Now, who's ever used a throttle like this that isn't flying 3D? Well, it just never happens. And that's kind of the point. What I'm using it is like I'm bouncing that balloon. I'm going to come down low again. I'm letting it fall. Now at this point, I'm holding it just off the ground. The tail is very, very close. Now, it would vary even more if the wind wasn't so dramatic today, because it's extremely windy out here. Now that was in a Harrier. I'll put it up into a hover, and you watch the throttle management isn't quite the same. I'm blipping it and moving it. Now I'm in a hover, and I'm holding it just off the ground. So you can see the difference in how much that throttle is moving. This time I'm going to do a rolling Harrier and watch what's going on with that throttle thumb. Now at this point I'm doing a rolling Harrier. Sorry, it's so windy and I'm in a very small space here, so hold on. And if you can see and feel, there's a lot of movement going on there to try and address the fact that the plane is rising and falling. I'll see if I can roll it and start the roll very close to me.
Go any further than that.
So that you can hear the motor being pulsed. So let's watch the airplane this time. All right, I'm going to try going right next to us here and I'll kind of land it. Okay. Now as you can see, I'm blipping the throttle, trying to hold it. I'm going to kind of try and land it here. It's extremely windy.